Hello, I'm Tommy, and this video explains a lesson plan I created about graphing data. The following Colorado standards shall be met. We will be looking at mathematics in 6th grade, data analysis. We will learn how to interpret data of one variable and condense that information into a visual graph. Students will meet the NET Standard 4 by using critical thinking skills, problem solving and decision making when analyzing data, and creating graphs through self-work and group collaboration. Given any dataset, every student will be able to find the variable within the dataset and organize it into a frequency table in increasing order, and construct a graph that best represents the data well. This activity will take approximately 2 class periods to complete, with a homework assignment that needs to be completed between classes. Students will use computers to research other ways our society collects and uses graphs to analyze data. Non-fiction texts would be another resource for finding and learning how graphs are used widely to model data. Students will need graph paper to sketch graphs accurately to scale. Students will also need access to a TI-86 or equivalent calculator. I will introduce students to the lesson activity by asking them how tall they are and writing the results on the board. I will activate their prior knowledge by asking them what I am creating on the board. After hearing some ideas, I will explain that the result written on the board is a collection of data that we call a data set. Just one of the items in the set is a data point, and the total number of data points is the data size. I will give a pre-test to check their understanding and assess how much they learned at the end of the session. I will create a bar graph and a box plot with the heights in the data set. I will then explain that there is a wide variety of ways we collect data and how we interpret it, and each can be shown using a bar graph, box plot, class interval, or a histogram. Selecting the right graph is important because it displays data for better understanding. After drawing a graph, I will teach students how to input data into a TI-86 and have the calculator generate a bar graph, box plot, class interval, or histogram for us. After I present the material, I will have the students get into groups of 4 and research other ways we collect data on the computer. Weather patterns, sports, and business expenses are just an example. I will walk around the room and help them find a data set and interpret the data into a graph. Once students know how to create a graph by hand, they will be asked to enter the data into a TI-86 calculator. Students will have to take a take-home assignment where they will complete more graphs and find a real-world example in a magazine or newspaper. For the second period of teaching this lesson, I will ask students to share their hard copy of a graph they found in a textbook, newspaper, or magazine. This will allow them to see how data and graphs apply in their lives. I will ask them to present their findings and ask one another questions to check for understanding and the purpose of their graphs. To close the activity, I will explain that graphing data is important because graphs make it easier to understand large sets of data more quickly than the data set alone. I can ask the following questions to test their understanding. What did you learn about each other's graphs? How might we apply the use of graphs to other real-world situations? Students will be asked questions in an anticipatory set to activate prior knowledge and be given a pre-test to check for understanding. Students will be shown how to interpret data and create a graph. I will help them create their own graphs in an assisted learning project. Students will be required to repeat the process learned on the first day as a homework assignment that must be checked by 2 other students in class the following day. The rubric on the following page will be used to grade their assignment. Students will have a chance to work together on another project in the second period of the lesson. A quiz will be given after the lesson to check for understanding, and any information that is not properly understood will be repeated in a review session before the final test. Here is a sample of the rubric that will be used to grade their homework assignment. Thank you for watching my lesson plan video. Watch the student video of this lesson online. The online lesson video can be used as a reverse classroom, where students can watch the video at their own pace prior to class, or students can watch the video for review. click on the video to watch it.